Hello, I'm Wayne Visser and I'm founder and director of CSR International. And today I'm with Thomas Thomas, who's Executive Director of the Singapore Compact for CSR. Welcome, Thomas.
Thank you. And welcome to Singapore too.
Thank you. I wanted to start with your impressions of the state of CSR in Singapore and the work that you're doing here.
Okay, I think first and foremost, I'd like to say that Singapore Compact organization was started in 2005. We were the outcome of a tripartite initiative that looked at CSR, a tripartite initiative that comprised of government, business and labor looking at CSR. And that tripartite initiative decided to form an ongoing society. So we are multi-stakeholder, being we have corporate members, we have institutional members which are cooperatives, trade unions, houses, associations, as well as NGOs as associate members, and we've got the whole range of membership. We started it, our primary whole aim is to promote CSR, increase awareness, increase the practices, and get CSR embedded in organizations. The challenge was very clearly that there was no external manifestations of CSR in terms of signing on to the UN Global Compact, sustainability reports. Those were not visible in Singapore. So we got it moving very slowly, a lot of hard work. We got people to join us, support us and go. So in the first year we had less than 100 people, companies who joined as members. We managed to get 10 companies to sign up to the UN Global Compact, and today we have made much progress in the sense that we have more than 70 signatories to the UN Global Compact. We have sustainability reporting workshops that we try to encourage. In 2009, for 2008, we had only one company made a report based on GRI framework. Now we think we have about 15 or so GRI reports out, and it should go up. So there's this making big and good progress. And it's also significant is that in 2008, the Ministry of Trade and Industry actually did a survey on the state of CSR in Singapore. They surveyed the whole range of companies, SMEs, huge companies, local owned, joint ventures, foreign. And the survey showed that 60% of those interviewed were not aware of the term CSR. And out of the 40% who were aware, only 2/3 or 27% was doing something about it. The other 13% was not doing anything. And the reason they're not doing anything is because they said they didn't have the know-how, they didn't have the money, and they didn't have the time. I will always summarize it and say they don't know how, they don't have money, no time, no money, and don't know how to do it. While the other 27% who were doing something were primarily had the perception that CSR is giving back to society, and it was basically giving back to charity and community and labor issues was CSR for them. We're trying to get the holistic view of CSR, that CSR is not about how you spend your money, but CSR is about how you made your money, with values, principles, embedded in your strategy, embedded in the operations of the company.
Now, one of the interesting things about Singapore is the strong role of government in the society, and some people might say that there's less scope for CSR because the government takes care of so many of these social issues. What's your view on that?
Okay, I think that's where the government's strong role means there has been CSR embedded in organizations. So I think there are a lot of implicit CSR, but the idea is this, that even if we have a strong legislation, strong national norms, social pressures, peer pressure for people to conform in Singapore, so there's no external manifestations of strong CSR. But it also means that there are very strong implicit CSR in the organization. So it's not so easy to act irresponsibly in a society with a strong government. So that's a challenge. But I think one is also, I have to say that last year we actually did a case study about 10 Singapore companies. And one of the things that came out quite clearly is that people were doing CSR because it was not just the right thing to do in terms of values, but it was also the smart thing to do. That people, they found that by having values principles, it has got your way you operate changes, and that results in a lot of intangible benefits. The intangible benefits like reputation, employee morale, identification for brand, etc. And many of these intangible benefits were converted to higher productivity, better returns, better customer satisfaction, and good money. So it was not just the right thing to do, but also the smart thing to do.
Okay. And what are some of the issues where you think Singapore still needs to make some progress?
Okay, I think we are strong in some things, like governance is very good, but there's a lot of scope for improvement in the way you embed values and look at it. I mean, embed values means we're quite good in counting the profitability and the bottom line, but how to also do it by taking the full account, go beyond legal compliance, go beyond and be innovative in incorporating social and environmental factors in business. I think there's one. And the other one is that we also have societal problems of the widening income gap. We have these problems. We also have a lot of foreign workers. I think 30% of the workforce are foreign versus local. So there's also tension how you treat foreign worker versus local. There's another tension. The other CSR issue that's also important in Singapore at the moment is the aging workforce. We've got a population that's aging very fast, and if the aging workforce will have a challenge on the pipeline of future workforce, and there's a need to keep them and make them productive, and employers will also have to modify the work processes to carry this, because we cannot be over-dependent on foreign labor as well. And the other point is also that there are, in any society, Singapore is no exception, there are always the disadvantaged in society, the physically disabled, the ex-offenders, single mothers, lowly educated, low income. So I think there's also a challenge to move those with low skills, low income, with low productivity, through a lot of measures, including training, development, so that they could earn higher salaries, be more productive, and have a better quality of life.
Another area where Singapore is seen as a leader is in the whole technology space.
Yes.
Do you see any take-up of CSR or environmental issues in that sector?
I think the environmental sector is very strong. I think it starts off from Singapore's independence. I think that's one of the, a lot of us think that CSR actually started with Singapore's independence in the early 60s, where the government had to, we had high unemployment, low standard of living, and the only way was to attract investments, factories, jobs. And the jobs came in, business had to be profitable, as well as they had to give fair returns to the workers so they could earn more, better quality of life, better working conditions, and therefore also have better upgrade their own living standards. And also because it's a small country, the environmental issues are very strong, needed to be looked. So in the 60s already, Singapore launched its Clean and Green campaign, and because you have to do the environment right. And so we have, in terms, from the beginning, incorporated both the economic, social, and environmental issues into this whole country ecosystem, so to speak.